game up. We've got Sunday Night Football. We got the Dallas Cowboys going on the road to take on the New York Giants. Wayne, who do you have?
Yeah, I got the Giants here actually. I got the Giants pulling off a little of an upset. I think the Giants are I think it's a +3, at home. Cowboys swept the Giants last season, right? I think though the Giants are a little bit better this season. I think that's just my thinking there. Cowboys good momentum I think building off of last year. Had that playoff win, which hey, that's better than what they've been doing previously. So good on them. I still think that they'll have a successful season, but for me, like you're mentioning with Bill Belichick, not to put them in the same category, but I really like Brian Dable and that coaching staff, what they're able to do. And then, yeah, with the better squad, adding, Darren Waller in there, I think this is just a better overall Giants team. I had them getting the same amount of wins as they did last year, but for me, I think this will be one of them. Again, at the home, building off the momentum that they had last season. Better team overall this season, albeit against a really good team. I'm just gonna go with the Giants here. I just have a feeling that they'll pull off the upset.
Yeah. I'm going with you too here. I think New York Giants are going to win at home. Sunday Night Football. I'm not buying this Dallas thing, man. I feel like everybody, in the analyst rankings, on social media, definitely giving Dallas like this huge bump this year. Like they can go to the Super Bowl. They're an elite team, this and that. But like, I don't know, man. They just remind me of like a stale pizza. Like the dough itself, aka Dak Prescott, is stale. And then, they just keep adding like these luxurious ingredients, to this pie. Yet all along, like, every time you take a bite, you just taste like, that really, outdated, crusty dough. It might have some mold on this and that, but it's like, ultimately, it's like, how elite can this team really be if their biggest flaw is what kind of stirs the drink? And not to mention, like, Mike McCarthy seems to be playing like early 2000s type style football. I don't think he has like, the type of brains or the type of playbook to really compete against some of the, sharpest minds in the game. Like when you look at a San Francisco or a Miami in a lot of ways, I think Belichick and even McDermott and, there's other coaches too. I mean, Pete Carroll is pretty savvy even at his age and stuff, but it's just like, I don't know, man. I think their ceiling is only as high as, who they have behind center, unfortunately. And like they could have the best, defense out there. They could have some of the best offensive playmakers on the other side with Dak. But it's like we've seen this time and time again. And he consistently just comes up short. I mean, he either gets injured and it like just prolongs this narrative of how long, he'll be their franchise guy, or, he gets his shot in the big moment and it just kind of like it goes poof, way too quickly. And it's the same story year in, year out. So, I mean, he's a good quarterback. He's not bad. I think that's just what he is. I mean, he's going to be a, top, 12 to top 15 type quarterback in this league, but that's just, to me, not enough to make you an elite squad. I think the New York Giants are too smart with, Dable as their coach. I think they have a good amount of talent there. I mean, I think their quarterback pairs up with Dallas's pretty well, and they've got a good running game too. They've got Waller over there. It's interesting. I mean, their defense is not close to Dallas's at this point, but being at home, primetime type game on a Sunday night to kick off the year, I think they'll be energized, and I think they'll best them, even if by a slim margin.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just I feel like when is this clock on Mike McCarthy? Kind of this is a talented team, and it's like, man, if you put in Sean McVay in there, that would be interesting, right? But hey, contracts are contracts. But I agree. I think that this Giants team, Daniel Jones, Barkley, right, a little bit more surety, I think, going on into this season too. I think sentiment wise, this feels good for them. So yeah, I have Giants pulling off the upset here at home. I think, yeah, I'm just in favor of it. And like you mentioned, yeah, I feel like the Cowboys they're kind of like a better Lions team, right? It's like they'll disappoint you in some manner, and I really like that analogy on this like decrepit pie that you had too. I think that's hilarious. But yeah, I feel like that's just the sentiment I think of the Cowboys though. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is the season. This is the season that it's, make or break for them. We've had enough talk about the Cowboys being like a Super Bowl contender over the last 5 years, and it just consistently disappointing. This has to be it for McCarthy. This has to be it for Dak. Um, you know, my personal opinion is they get a good first round win as a wild card team over the Saints, like we were talking about. But I think that's kind of where it's going to end. And I think that's fine. They're a good team. They are a good NFL team, but like it's not elite. It's not top tier. It's not Super Bowl worthy, in my opinion. So I just read so many of these narratives across some really respected publications, and then obviously there's like tons of social media folks out there that want to give them a little bit more praise too. But I their defense would have to play out of their minds, to really just like it'd have to be to like a historic type level of defensive output in my mind to make them Super Bowl winners. Going into this year, it's going to be an LA Rams type team, or it's going to be, Baltimore Ravens of old type team in order to get them over, that mountaintop. And yeah, I just don't feel it in that way.
Yeah, I agree. Great defenses, they can definitely surpass kind of like what the Cowboys have been doing on the offensive side of the ball. But they do have some great players. But at the end of the day, though, like, are they at that level? I don't think so. So, yeah, that's just where I think the bill is stopped for them. And then we'll see what happens in this coming off season with regards to any type of positional changes or coaching changes. But I feel like something's going to happen because this team has been kind of like this for a while, I feel like. And, for me, honestly, I feel like if I'm Jerry Jones, like he's only getting older. It's like, all right, you guys need to win now. So let's see what'll happen here.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. There's no team with more pressure on it year in, year out, I feel like, than the Cowboys. I mean, that's also to their detriment. I think they just get more press, they get more attention. They have probably more fans than a lot of sports teams do, going across all leagues. And man, yeah, it's just it's tough if you don't have those kind of alphas to kind of take you over the hump there. But we got the Giants winning on Sunday night, so stay tuned for that one.